Hello folks, this is Mike, PC31 the Vinyl Policeman, and today I just want to show you some items I got at an auction recently. I had really good success. I won 3 lots, a lot of Clash items, but there's some other great stuff as well that I just wanted to show you. Before I do that, I just wanted to do a couple of quick shout outs. The first one is to really good friend in the VC, Ben Rankins, who's been pretty poorly with COVID. Got it about 10 days ago now, maybe a little bit longer, and we've exchanged a few emails. He's been suffering quite badly with it, so hopefully Ben will be back nice and healthy again soon. But so we all send our best wishes to Ben. Hope he gets better soon. Ben's currently on 417. For those who don't know Ben, he's in Melbourne and he's a fantastic champion of Australian music, and he's so knowledgeable, brilliantly entertaining channel. Fantastic. He comes out with so many great ideas. It'd be great if you could subscribe to Ben if you haven't already, because I say he's on 417, and if we can get him past the 500 while he's been poorly, that'd be fantastic. Another quick one is vinyl Martini Jack over in British Columbia in Canada. Jack is on holiday at the moment, looking after his grandchild in France. I think it's Marseille, south of France, he's gone to, and Jack seems to be stuck at the 346 mark. And again, Jack is such a lovely guy, such a brilliant member of the VC. So if you haven't already, could you please subscribe to Jack, because great channel, really entertaining, shows some brilliant stuff. So best wishes, Ben. Give him a sub, give Jack a sub as well, that'd be great. Right, okay, so I saw this auction and a little while ago. It was at the other end of the country, so I couldn't make it to actually go there, but I got condition reports, etc. There were a few Clash lots and a few other lots which I was really interested in. Anyway, long story short, I secured 3 lots, and I was really excited because I got some really, really good stuff. 2 of the lots were the Clash. 1 lot was a miscellaneous with some great things in. I think I'll show you the miscellaneous one first. It's about 7 items, I think, just to show you. So the first one is one which I just hadn't seen before, probably very well known, but I just hadn't come across it. And it's Talking Heads from 1982, the double live album, where you've got, the name of this band is Talking Heads. So the first one is from live recordings from 77 through to 79, and it's with the quartet. So some great old pictures, looks like somebody's lounge there. But the recording's primarily off a radio station, I believe, and Capitol Theatre, New Jersey. Tracks on that one you've got are things like Psycho Killer, New Feeling, Don't Worry About the Government, Memory, Stay Hungry. You've got a lot of the older tracks there. All the tracks on this double album, by the way, are from the first 4 albums. And the second album, flip it over, you come bang up to date, and this is with the 10-piece Talking Heads lineup. And obviously it's a lot slicker. And on that one, I Zimbra, Drugs, Houses in Motion, Life During Wartime, fantastic track. Take Me to the River, superb. So really, really pleased that was in the lot. And as I say, double album, and it's reissue, 2 bits of vinyl on red vinyl, so that's good. Second one I wanted to show you was an album I've already got, but this is an upgrade in many respects. The original Raven by the Stranglers, and had this for a long time. But what was in the actual auction lot I won was the lenticular, the first edition, first press. So the 3D lenticular cover, which I haven't had before, and the whole thing's in great condition. The other interesting thing as well is that actually this is a great Stranglers album, because I always used to think Rattus Norvegicus was my favourite, and it probably is, but when you look at the tracks on this, Shasha Go Go, Don't Bring Harry About Heroin, Duchess, maybe my favourite Stranglers track, Men in Black, Nuclear Device, The Raven, Baroque Bordello, just a really fantastic album. Another interesting thing about this being a first press is Nuclear Device. You've got actually mention of the Australian collection, so Nuclear Device, The Wizard of Oz, and they're talking about the Premier of Queensland, who was Premier of Queensland for a long time apparently, Blazek Peterson, probably pronounced completely wrong. Anyway, on the original, which I've now got, is a picture of him there by Queensland, and there was an uproar about it, and the Stranglers were forced to take it off and get it repressed. And if you see my original one, he's disappeared, and it's just the little map there of Queensland. So very nice upgrade, which I'm really pleased with. So that's fantastic. Okay, next one, staying with the Australian theme, and this will be one that Ben Rankins knows all about. It's the debut album from the Birthday Party, but when they used to be called the Boys Next Door. So this is pre-Birthday Party. So they recorded this in Melbourne, late 70s, and then 1980 after this they came across to London, and then they renamed as the Birthday Party. This is an album which I've made a few notes because Nick Cave actually said that when you listen to this, you can tell that they were adolescents. They were very late developers, using his words. He also described the album as complete wank. I don't think it is, actually. I think it's a really interesting album. Berwickshire Mike, you'd really like this album, actually. I mean, it's a very basic, raw production, but I think some of the songs in it are absolutely terrific, and it's an album I've played several times now, and I kind of really enjoy. The single from it, which was Shivers, has been recorded by Courtney Barnett. It's also been in a film, so things have been taken from this. But yeah, from Nick Cave's cruel description of his first album, it's a great album cover, don't you think? Really scary stuff. But yeah, the Boys Next Door, and it was called Door, and I say this is just before they renamed themselves the Birthday Party. I think there was another EP to come after this, but yeah, this is a really raw, very lo-fi, badly produced album, but the songs are good, and it's got a really good atmosphere to it. So I'm enjoying that one, and it's on red vinyl, so that's obviously a reissue. That's probably very rare now. Next one is an album which I've been looking for quite a long time, from 1977, and it's Iggy's second solo album. This is the other one, which is very Bowie-fied, recorded in Berlin. Bowie co-produced it. Bowie wrote, I think, the music to 7 of the 9 songs. Iggy wrote all the lyrics. But yeah, this is a very good album, actually, which I do enjoy. It's got Passenger on it, Lust for Life. Carlos Alamore's on it, who's obviously one of Bowie's fantastic guitarists. He's superb. And Bowie toured this album. Bowie had just recorded Low in Berlin, went into the studio with Iggy, recorded this, and I think they were touring Iggy's music. I think they were actually touring The Idiot, and Bowie decided to do that instead of touring Low, which was really surprising. But yeah, pleased to get a hold of that one. Next one, picked up a couple of, in this lot again, fantastic lot, picked up a couple of Bauhaus albums, and I had 1 and 3 in a flat field, and The Sky's Gone Out. I've had those since way back in the 80s, but I actually picked up by chance album 2 and 4. So number 2 from 1981 was Mask, and it's a reissue. I mean, it's on yellow vinyl, but really pleased to kind of pick that one up, their second album. And then picked up their final album. They did reform, actually, and they released another album in 2008. But the original kind of Bauhaus, before they went Tones on Towers and Love and Rockets, etc. This was kind of the last one of the 4. This was 1983, and this is Burning from the Inside. She's in Parties, I think, was a single from this one. And again, this is a reissue, sky blue sort of vinyl, which is really good. So kind of I've got the first 4 Bauhaus albums now, which I'm pleased to get. Next one, very interesting album, which I hadn't seen before. and it's Tripping Dogs by the Chameleons. And this is from 1990. Yeah, it's from 90. It was released 1990. This is basically a live album, and it's a rehearsal. And they're rehearsing for a big gig at the Manchester Free Trade Hall, say in 1985. And but this album is very, very raw. You've got all the banter between the songs. You've got forced starts where a song starts and they stop it and go again. So it's very, very raw, and it makes it very entertaining, actually. You get a lot from it. Vocals are quite low down in the mix, because this is not a produced pucker mix. This is a rehearsal, so somebody's pressed the button on the soundboard. Very, very interesting though. Tripping Dogs. You've got a lot of great Chameleon songs there. They made 4 studio albums. They made lots and lots of live albums and comp albums, but this was the first one that was issued officially as a live album. They're Rob Walker territory. They're a good old Manchester band, Middleton. And right, that's it. So 7 records, non-Clash, that I picked up. So if you're not interested in the Clash, now's the time to go. But I picked up 2 lots of Clash records, and this was my main reason for being interested in this particular auction. I've been after an album for a long time, a bootleg, and it's basically the original mix of combat rock. So it's called Rat Patrol from Fort Bragg. Double album, orange vinyl. Now, the story behind this one is that the Clash, this is about 82 now, and the Clash are in a bad way. Joe Strummer's lost a bit of interest. Topper's got a heroin addiction. Paul Simone's elsewhere. And Mick Jones is kind of determined to get into the studio and mix a lot of the material they've got, because they've got an awful lot of material. They've got a lot of stuff to play with. So he goes into the studio religiously each day, and he mixes something, and he wants something which is very dub, which is very Sandinista. He wants another double album, and he basically mixes Rat Patrol from Fort Bragg, and it's a really good album. It's a great mix. You've got some of the tracks on Combat Rock, a lot longer, completely different mixes, but you've got a lot of tracks which never made it to Combat Rock. So basically what happened was Mick then played this to the rest of the band and the record company, and nobody liked it. And so it was shelved. The record company then pulled in Glenn Johns, who gets pulled in all over the place. Glenn Johns, a wonderful engineer and producer. And Glenn Johns comes in, and Glenn Johns mixes the tracks down, makes the selections, and you've got Combat Rock. So this is such a brilliant part of Clash history to have this. And I'm really pleased to have kind of tracked it down, and it's in fabulous condition. So the original double album that was to be Combat Rock, which was Mick Jones' creation, and there we are. So the auction was worth it just for that one for me. Next one. This is the Clash's first album, and it's demos for the first album remastered. So there we go. So you've got all of the original tracks, and they're in the UK running order. Yeah, by the looks of it. But it's all the demo tracks, which is fabulous. It's raw. It's fantastic. It's such a, if you're a Clash fan like I am, it's just such a great thing to have. Superb. So pleased to get that in the collection. On we go. Next thing, I've had a CD of this since it came out, but I've never owned the vinyl. And again, this was in these 3 lots, and it's just perfect condition. In fact, it's still in shrink wrap, and it's when they supported the Who at Shea Stadium in 1982, October 13, 1982, Shea Stadium, New York City. And as I say, I've had this on CD for a long time, but to get it on vinyl, absolutely fantastic. Previously unreleased, legendary Clash concert. Experience the live intensity of the Clash at their powerful best. The full show restored and remastered, 180-gram audiophile pressing. Wonderful stuff. Absolutely. 100 miles an hour Clash. superb. And some say at the Shea Stadium, the crowd absolutely loved them. They went down a storm that particular night. Next one, again, is something which I've had on CD, just never had it on vinyl. And this is music on vinyl. This is the Clash Hits Back. And this was based on the running order that Joe Strummer put together for a Clash set list. So it's all 180 gram vinyl, audio vinyl pressing. This was also in shrink, that's right, triple album. Wonderful, so pleased to get that. Such a great haul of Clash stuff. Next one, another bootleg. The Clash on Broadway. This is the outtakes on vinyl. Great bootleg, and one that I've been looking for a while. I mean, I've got the box set of the official release, but these outtakes, they're absolutely superb, the Clash. Fantastic. Fantastic. I've got a few oddities, because I say these were 2 lots of the Clash, so there were some things I've got, some things I didn't have, which I was really pleased to get. This is 180 gram of London Calling. It's 180 gram. Great stuff. A blue vinyl, Give 'Em Enough Rope. Haven't seen that before. 180 gram. Blue vinyl, fantastic. If you're a Clash fan, this all means so much. If you're not a Clash fan, you probably don't. Red vinyl, London Calling. The wonderful, not enough wonderfuls in the world for London Calling. This is the Clash's first album, but the US running order, the US edition. It's music on vinyl, so it's a reissue, and it comes with a bonus 7-inch, which it came with at the time. But as I say, this is in the US running order. Came with Groovy Times and Gates of the West. There's a 7-inch as well, which it came with. But to have the US running order is really good. I mean, so used to the UK one, but this US one, in many respects, fabulous running order. I mean, I obviously grew up with the UK running order, but if you look at this, what was included, I mean, White Man in Hammersmith Palais, I Fought the Law. You know, you got tracks on here which weren't on the original ones, and 3 or 4 were actually taken off, Cheat, etc. But pleased to get that one, really good. And a Combat Rock on 180 gram vinyl, perfect condition. And the final 3 are, I'm not sure what you call these things, but there's they're live recordings, and they've got to be legitimate ones, but this is the Japanese edition Inca Gold Swell vinyl, the only band that matters. Hopefully you can see that. And limited to 1,000. And these 3 are all from live concerts and from radio broadcasts. But yeah, this one. So the very best of the Clash broadcasting live 1979-83. London Calling, the Palladium, New York. White Man in Hammersmith Palais, Sun Plaza, Tokyo, Tommy Gun Tokyo, White Riot in New York. So really, Clash City Rockers, Capitol Theatre, Passaic, New Jersey, US Festival, San Bernardino, Train in Vain. So it's a real mixture of different live recordings. Another one, which is called The Guns from Brixton, which again, coloured vinyl. And just open that one up for you. remember to sub Ben and Jack. They'd really appreciate that. So, Guns and Bricks is a legendary cable broadcast on the Capitol Theatre, Passaic, New Jersey. I think I pronounced it right. March 1980, featuring The Clash, hard at work promoting the album London Calling. Digitally remastered, pressed onto coloured marble vinyl. And features cover illustration. All these illustrations actually are Ray Lowry, the official Clash war artist who toured with the band, sketching on stage and in rehearsal. But these are all, this is Coda Vinyl, who obviously got a license to do these things. And the very last one, which again is Coda Vinyl, limited edition on multicoloured marble vinyl, the legendary concert broadcast on the US Festival, San Bernardino, 1983. Born in the USA. Born with the USA. Again, Ray Lowry artwork, coloured vinyl. Fabulous. So, fantastic haul of Clash stuff. As I say, the bootlegs in particular, Rat Patrol, Broadway outtakes, absolutely fabulous. The demos from the first album. So pleased to get this as a big Clash fan. So I hope you enjoyed that, folks. As I say, please, we wish Ben all the best, and please sub him. We'd appreciate it so much. So would Jack, Vona Martini, say over in France at the moment, and stuck on that 346, and he deserves to be way past that. So if you can press those two buttons, folks. Okay, speak again soon.